What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action spawning on the bottom of the map in the blue color. Playing as Gaia. His name is Player. His opponent today in the red color playing as Zeus. His name is Matreiuss. The map, Savannah. The game, a ladder game. The history between these two players, I actually don't really know. I don't know how often these guys have met in tournament. Let me actually see if I can actually see this quickly. But we all know that Matreiuss is one of the best tournament players out there. Player, how much has he played in tournaments is the best question. I know they've met in the UCA versus like Fade 2 or whatever clan Player was in, TSM, whatever clan they were in. I am looking for Matreiuss. And I'm looking for head-to-head. I'm pretty sure these guys haven't even met in a tournament before. Opponents, Player. What? Is it this guy? I think so. Run query. So it is a 2-1 for Matreiuss in the Masters of Mythology. And in the best of the best, it was 3-0 for Matreiuss. So Matreiuss has got a significant advantage against... Player in their history, though this is on the legacy version of the game. So there might be a little bit of a mental block here from Player against Matreiuss, but he is playing as Gaia. Gaia very, very strong in Retold at the moment, has a very, very strong economy, plays incredibly well. You can beat her. There's a very big weakness to Gaia a lot of the time in that her units start falling off and you can start beating her with a lot of stuff later in the game. So you do have some advantages there. Okay, let's check out some relics here as I'm trying to get into this video. Thundercloud Shawl, minus 5% pierce attacks. Not bad. Anvil of Hephaestus, minus 50% gold cost. This, I honestly reckon this relic is a little bit too strong. If I think about this, taking 50% gold off, just on my copper upgrades, I'm getting 125 gold off, just on my copper upgrades alone. It's pretty crazy good. If I see this relic, it's like a must grab. There's other relics out there that are probably just as good, if not better than this one though. So when I say it's too good, I mean, there's other relics out there better. So I guess relics are just really, really good. Oseberg Wagon is one of those relics that is just insanely strong. But doesn't get that much use anymore because you don't get to see the trade route that often. If you find this relic on, say, like an Oasis map or a Highland map, that's very, very good. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind when playing a game of Age of Mythology Retold. As Matreiuss going through Athena, and we have to go ahead and Alt-T this one to flip these guys around. I can also do this, right? I can do this. I can go update and I can go ahead and do a... Wait, I'm on the wrong thing. Over here. Bam. Bam. And look, we get a thing. It all pops up. Oh no, they're on the wrong side. Flipperoonie. Okay. Oops. Update. Okay, we got it. Fixed. We've got the technology right now. All right, we are seeing Matreiuss opening with the stable. Not really too many surprises here. He did go through Athena, so Athena Hipparchus, not the best, but not the worst either. There was a concept in Legacy called Athena Hippicon, which would be you go for a mass Hippicon early and you use Restoration to get yourself the actual advantage in the fight because you've got a lot of really, really big, healthy units in those Hippias. They don't die very quickly because they've got 150 HP. Restoration gets them back up to that full HP when they're all low HP, and you can find yourself a big advantage there. But in Retold, these units are dying very, very heavily to those catapulties that are quite good. Those Murmillo are also really good against them, even though they don't have a bonus. That's why we're going to see those Hoplites coming through. So now Hoplites are going to be able to tank against Murmillo, tank against catapulties, and allow those Hippias to get around and get onto Terma or Caraballista. As in the main base here, for Player is about to get a little bit of harassment by that Heracles here as the hero Murmillo gets converted. Going to be charging forward. Do have a Minotaur on the front here as well. Donardi asking the question, why don't we see trade anyways? Okay, so there's a couple of reasons why we don't see trade as the game is starting to come through. One of the big ones is it just isn't worth it. It's a lot of resources to get the caravans. And then the caravan, they don't get enough gold return. So when you're going for a trade route from, say, here up to here, you're only getting, say, 70, 80 gold, which if you were to do that on Legacy, you would have been getting 100 gold or more, like more than 100 gold. Now, it's not like if I said that's only a 20 gold difference, it's actually not. It's like the line would be, that's the that's the thing. Can't remember what that term is. Nothing's coming to me. Anyways, it's just much, much better. Anyways, we are seeing that hero, Murmillo, getting some good value, and as the Galadriel are going to be dodging around, he can run in and get that heal off onto the Murmillo. Does he get it? He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it at all. Exponential. That's right. It's exponentially different. Thank you, JJ Nori. If it wasn't for Twitch chat, cheapers, I would be in a struggle town. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why the old trade isn't working. Another reason I think is because the gold gather rates have been significantly improved on your villages with pickaxe, shaft mine, and quarry all not only working as described, but giving 10%, 15%, and 20% boosted gold income. So you really, really do not need trade route in a game of Age of Mythology Retold. And then plus on that, having equal population when you're taking fights is really, really important. If you go up to, say, 150 caravans and your opponent is staying at 100 villages, yes, you will have more economy than them, but they're going to be winning all the fights really, really heavily because they've got 50 more population than you do in army. So it is very, very interesting. And you cannot use a village center for trade route trading, no. And that's not to say that trading has no place. It's like, if there was a feat, like all of that saying that it's just better to mine gold, trading still has a place because gold mines expire. So it's not like you don't get to see trade at all. It's just you have to wait for the gold mines to expire and then you get the trade out. And I quite like that. I like that there's a purpose for trade and it is for that late game. As we've gone on a bit of a tangent, but that's fine. We are seeing this Olympian parentage coming through. Is that actually what it's called? Did I read it right? Yes. Fantastic. It's kind of the same as before. This one's going to be boosting those heroes up in HP. It's really, really strong. So we are starting to see some Minotaurs coming out. And Matreiuss is taking this one very, very slowly. Black Poseidon is asking, is player a Smurf account? No, this is a guy. He goes by the name TSM Player. A very, very strong Age of Mythology Retold player. And an Age of Mythology Legacy player. One of the best team game players in the history of Age of Mythology, the Titans. So yeah, he's a... And I think he was also pretty good at Age of Empires 2 as well. Let's just see how much HP these bad boys go up to. 439. I mean, it's kind of a decent amount. 270. Definitely that upgrade is much, much more useful on your Bellerophon or your Odysseus, right? Because those are going to have a lot of HP. So we see Thea clicked up right now by player. Or trying to get clicked up. He doesn't quite have the resources. He wants to go there. But but he's still building units. I think that's fair enough. I mean, if you get there, you get there, right? As we do see the army now of Matreiuss attempting to force the issue. You have to remember he still has got that restoration to drop down if he wants to, but he's going after a watchtower on the front as we do see a bolt there coming in. One Minotaur gets taken down. Carnivora getting dropped in. Player not going to be retreating in the slightest. He still has this watchtower to help him out on the fight, plus a ton of those Murmillos. As on the right side of the map here, we are seeing the raid coming through as Matreiuss, he knows what he's doing. He could have had those Hippias in this fight. They wouldn't have been that useful, but they are getting some serious value over here. 1, 2, 3 citizens, 4 citizens, maybe 5 citizens getting taken down. But the army of Matreiuss does end up getting massacred here as the army here for player going to be pushing forward. He can potentially use this Minotaur to fling those units away on the retreat. We don't see that very often there, but Matreiuss does pay attention, and then he can speed walk the Minotaur away. I love that little micro movement there. Very, very nice. As the Hippie is going to be pulling back. So we've got a military academy coming up in the main base here for Matreiuss is going to try and get a whole bunch more Hoplites out. Now, the big question is there a world in which Hoplites beat Murmillo? The Hoplites have got more HP, they got more hack armor, but they got less damage. 10.1 hack versus 9.8 hack. Plus, they've got that upgrade on them, which gives them bleed damage over time, which is pretty strong. So, guys, going to be retreating back. Now, you can get yourself this upgrade, which it looks like Matreiuss already has, which gives these guys range, so they can attack over each other. And it also gives them a little bit more hack armor. We already kind of accounted for that, right? Nonetheless. What's the attack damage difference between Sarissa and... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sarissa doesn't give damage, right? Or does it? Yeah, it gives... Oh, it does give hack damage. Oh, I'm big dum-dum. I was remembering the one from Legacy. There you go. The more you know, the more you grow. Okay, so this guy's actually just got more damage. So that even with the bonus damage, he's still doing less damage than the Murmillo. Does he have an upgrade? No. So yeah, there you go. The more you know. Murmillo's OP. Everything is busted. Everything is OP. The mantra of age mythology. Archery range coming down. Now, great counter to this is going to be making those whatchamacallits, those Surpass-Bist. As we do see the units running forward. Minotaur's getting targeted down here. As he does start getting some special attacks off, sending those units flying over onto this side. Going to be charging through those hero catapulties finally falling. There is still one Minotaur remaining in this fight, as Matreiuss did manage to keep that one alive and well. But population-wise, is actually in favor of Matreiuss here to boot. But can he find a win against all of this bleed damage, against all of this attack damage advantage, as we see another Carnivora coming down? No God powers remaining. There is enough almost for a bolt if he wants to use it onto that Carnivora there. Very expensive, though, as the village is going to be turning around, taking the fight as well. As those Murmillo are now starting to retreat away. Heracles is going to be able to finish off the Carnivora. And not only does Matreiuss hold there, but also he's got that heroic age coming through. And he's going to be in for a very, very good time here in this game, being able to make those a Pass-Bist and all the other good stuff that comes from that. And I imagine here that the whole idea for player is to get heroic age himself and go into Contarius to counter those Pass-Bist, as we do see that Thea coming through. It's going to be 90 seconds behind. Player is over onto this gold mine. And even with that raid, look at the difference in villager. I mean, obviously there's 5 villager differential from advancing, but it's still a big population advantage that comes, or a population advantage on the economy that comes from playing Atlantean, just because they build a little bit faster. As Matreiuss is going to be charging forward, trying to push off of this gold mine. Citizens garrisoning into the manor. Military barracks going to get taken out. One barracks going down over there. Manor going down onto this side here to boot. So we've got a cheeky little Odysseus coming out of here for Matreiuss. Are those... Why is he building Peltast? I mean, he's predicting Arcus to come through, but I would think most of the time I wouldn't build a Peltast until I saw an Arcus. Maybe. Bronze getting dropped down onto the fight, and he needs to retreat here. We see another Carnivora getting dropped down onto this one, but a second restoration coming through here for Matreiuss. I mean, that's a lot of favor getting spent on that one. He could have definitely had a lot more Minotaurs out, or even spent that on Hydra. Obviously, he doesn't have to spend the resources there, though, but he's going to be able to take this fight and win this one incredibly hard, or at least you would expect so, as the Hydra finishes up on the Carnivora over there. The units are going to be falling here as well. Player retreating on that gold mine there, but he does have a couple of villages on the gold mine over on the other side of the map. Their population differential is heavily in favor of Matreiuss at the moment, but for some reason, players' score is still being fairly competitive in this game. But Matreiuss now bashing at the gates of player. This player is in a little bit of a challenging spot. Heavy infantry is now in. Citizen's going to be sneaking out on this position. They can try and sneak onto this gold mine over here if he so chooses. As the Odysseus is now through. Look at that 525 HP of ridiculousness, taking out the Stymphalian bird from afar here, as well as the Hydra does end up getting taken down. The population for Matreiuss is still fairly strong, and now we're starting to see those Arcus coming through onto this fight here. As the army going to be pulling back. And we do see the unit's going to come over here and spot a couple of citizens on this position. As a player, not even going to bother retreating those away. Loses both of those citizens immediately. Meanwhile, on the top side, just still 2 citizens over there. There is still a little bit of gold in the main base, but that is about to expire. And if we check out player, he does have a market. He can sell for a little bit here if he needs to. But his economy is basically equal at the moment, which is a big, big challenge to overcome right now when you're playing as the guy. When you're playing as the Gaia, you want to be in front on economy so you can overwhelm your opponent with population, military, and all the good stuff, upgrades. But if you're equal on economy, that's going to be tough. As we're now starting to see Hydra coming through. Also that Chthonic Rites, I'm never sure. Chthonic Rites coming through as well here. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, we do see a Hoplite coming in. Going to be checking out that gold mine. Does spot that one with the mana there as well, but already a couple of units in position to defend. As Matreiuss will have to move up to the top side fairly quickly. Question in the chat, why no second town center from each player? Well, there's just no time to get it. If you grab a second town center, it takes about 5 minutes to pay off, right? And then it doesn't matter if you've got it, if you've got no gold. If you've got no gold, that town center paying itself off, and then you're having an economic advantage over your opponent by 10 villages. It's only 600 resources every minute for 10 villages, right? 20 villages, only 1,200 resources every minute. And you're not going to be there that quickly, right? So if you lose the gold, you lose the ability to produce military units, you lose the game. As the Hoplite's going to be coming through here, taking the fight onto those Contaris. Contaris going to be going down. But Matreiuss getting a little bit too distracted with this one. You probably just can move up here and get a good fight happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Whole bunch of Murmillo heroes getting converted on this position. Got some conversations about Olympian parentage in the chat. I mean, Olympian parentage was would have been really good because it boosts the speed of which the units come out, right? Of the heroes. We'll check it after the game, but I think it's by 25%, but because the units train besides everything instead of training over them, it's like not really that useful, that element. So that could be tweaked, I think. Nonetheless, fight coming through. Player, it still kind of looks like he's taking a really good fight here. 1 Hydra down with 3 heads, not enough. And Matreiuss, he just can't win any fights. What is happening here? Peltast over here. I guess these Peltasts are kind of useless now in this fight. He's got to get some more Hypaspis out to deal with those Murmillo. Still building those Hoplites, but Hypaspis can come through and can be very strong as the Odysseus is going to get sniped down over here. And then the unit's going to congregate on this position. A couple more Minotaurs going to be coming through. Lots and lots of villages on the favor. It's of my opinion that as Greek, you probably got to limit the amount of villages you want to put onto gold because it's really slowing you down. But 4 villages on food for the entirety of the game, or on favor for the entirety of the game, very strong. 8 villages. Now you're not only slowing the efficiency of the villages on the temple down, but you're also losing out on quite a lot of resources per minute, as we are seeing a little cheeky raid coming in. Going to be attempting to deny the town center. He's got a little bit of time here to get in and kill off those citizens. He could take... Wow, it goes down quickly. It goes down. Is he going to stop it? Is he going to... He denies it in a big way. That's a lot of lost resources there for player, but player doesn't care. He's going for the town center. There are a handful of units in defense here. Those relics dropping out. is a little bit of a loss there, but that's not going to really set him that far behind at the moment as the Hoplite's taking out units on the back. Really nice play there from Matreiuss as we are seeing a raid onto the villagers over here. And now look at the villager differential. They were roughly equal after that raid, and that damage comes through from player. Player is now in front by 20 villagers. In a really, really good position here. Meanwhile, more of those Hypaspis are coming in. We do see Peltast Hypaspis as the army type with a whole bunch of myth units to boot. I like that. But over on this position, we are seeing villagers getting sniped down in a really, really big way. Villagers going to have to retreat off of that location there. And in that moment, Matreiuss just taps out because player managed to find the win. This is a really, really weird game to analyze and to kind of come up with an idea of exactly what happened, because it's like, by all accounts, I really liked Matreiuss' decision making, how Matreiuss went about this, but it just seems like player is just in front for the entirety of the game. And I guess what we saw in a way is the military resource value in this fight here is where you would expect that Greek army to just win. And whatever happened, he just lost so many dudes so quickly. And I think Matreiuss just taking a bad fight there causes him to lose in this game when I think he was in a good spot before then. But nonetheless, player under pressure manages to keep himself alive, keep himself nice, cool, calm, collected, and find the dub. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider following the Twitch. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.